So, are you still having any questions? I can't believe you have. Okay, still.
So, Ajahn, this question is, it's about inculcating and...
About?
Inculcating.
Inculcating, yeah.
And developing.
Yes.
Mindfulness with children.
Yes.
So, what is a good age to begin? And if you have some guidelines or tips or suggestions? Because I work with children.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Especially disadvantaged children who live in the
in difficult family conditions.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, children are so amazing, because they are very sensitive. They feel everything. I always make me think that they feel so many things. And often the parents are not always aware that the children is so influenced by the atmosphere they live in, the way the parents speak to each other, the poverty of the family, and how they get, very much affected by the outside circumstances. But they do respond very well to loving kindness, interest in them, when they feel not automatically special, but when they feel visible, seen and heard. I see parents sometimes when, and I guess it's just because they live with them 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Naturally, you have a bit of a different relationship with them. But sometimes, and children require so much attention. You're always wanting me, it's like. But I think with children, you just have to learn how to not treat them as adults, because they're not adults. They're not your psychotherapist. Sometimes we make a joke about kids in the West, where their parents confide everything, tell them all their problems and so on. And then in the end, children are completely confused because the parents are supposed to support them and they end up supporting the parents sometimes. I don't think anybody does it intentionally, but that's what happened. And so, I've never really, I've taught meditation to kids, on the family camp. Yeah. There was a time where I refused to have anything to do with the family camp because I had this idea that wasn't what to do on the path. Look after kids, And eventually the delusion dropped, and then I volunteered to teach meditation. And they gave me an age to choose, so I said, 4 to 6. I like the idea of working with. And I have to say, from that day onward, I fell in love with them, and I always enjoy being with them. It's like we have so many ideas. But, with you as a teacher, bring some principle of Buddhist teachings, into this. You teach them how to be kind and generous, not to harm each other, to respect each other. They're kind of reasonable for about 5 minutes, and then it all goes down the drain, So you have to realize our mind is very busy with so many desires to indulge in pleasure, in fun, in games, and all kinds of things, So you can't treat them as adults, which have to have, maybe you expect them to have learned to sustain their attention long enough to learn something. But the kids don't do that. But a good habit, if you inculcate them with a good, healthy habit, doesn't, eventually it sinks. It has, they have a consciousness too, and they can see what's not correct and incorrect, I see the children at the family camp at Amaravati, that's the kind of thing we've been trying to avoid little by little, as we mature and practice, is being divisive, for example. Why the kids survive in divisiveness, he's my friend, he's not my friend, he's good, he's not my friend, this one, and, you see little cliques of girls, like the three on one side, two on the other, and there's a bad one, there's a good one, there's a sweet one, there's tough ones. So this is the kids, the kids' mentality. So to teach them from early age that all beings are worthy, all beings are worthy of kindness and worthy of respect. And I think just loving kindness and patience will go a long way. I'm not an expert. I'm not teaching kids, because the most difficult thing is actually to observe one's mind, which we can easily feel incredibly impatient with children, or you can feel really annoyed with them and, irritated, angry. All kind of things can go through your mind, and if you're not, if you don't know your mind and you don't know restraint, then you can easily start putting that onto them, and then that's not such a good idea, because that's probably what they get at home anyway, So I'm sure you've read books on working with children with difficulties. For me, I just feel the sense of being kind and loving, goes a very long way, in a way, without being too complicated, Yeah. Whether it's the right brain or the left brain, with this sign or that sign, born on this day or that day, just look at them as little flowers, that just want to grow happily. And sometimes they don't have the right conditions, to really let that happen in themselves. They're so much into reactivity, and they may have a lot of violence around them. I can't even think about it. It's so painful, to think of kids surrounded by mistreatment, being mistreated. Yeah? That's enough.
And can we teach them meditation as well?
For the children? Yeah. Oh yeah, they're very sensitive to it. I mean, they stay for 1.5 minutes and then they start running again. And oh yes, I remember. I used zafu for them to sit down, and at some point they were throwing zafu. This round cushion, and at some from zafu sitting on it. We play game and we throw zafu, mindfully, of course, and present. It was so much fun. Yeah, you can have. You can. I mean, I have a disciple at Amaravati. His name is Zach. He's Thai. I'll tell Zach I talked about him in Delhi. He'll be very interested. So he was such a boisterous little boy, really running all the time. He comes everybody is annoyed with them sometimes because they're not the loving time. They just come and cuddle in our mother's arms, just want to run away and play with the boys, and so I remember Zach. I knew my challenge was going to be. It was a wonderful challenge for me. So I asked him, Zach, come in with his mom. Come and sit with me. So let's see. We're going to do a bit of meditation together. It was so sweet. You don't tap into the seeds of kids. He sat down and he sat. Really concentrated for several minutes. Nobody could believe it. It was unbelievable to see little Zach sitting bolt upright like this, not even the arms are going, the eyelids going, just like. And since then, of course, we've had a really, I would say, quote unquote, a teacher-student relationship, And he's a very sweet boy, actually. He's a very nice little boy, truly. And he's also very fatherly now that he's getting 5, 6, so he has a little friend, a little girl, with as boisterous as he is. And of course, he tried to help her out a little bit. She's about 2 years younger than him. And they don't live near each other. When they come together to the monastery, you can see he's very sort of fatherly. So it's so funny. I mean, it won't take long probably that he start teaching her meditation. So, I'm just telling this story not to make you laugh only, but also to show you how we can project onto kids our perception, and then we lose a bigger picture, the picture of all these little plants underneath the skin, of their heart. So particularly the difficult ones, I go for them straight away, I thought I learned this lesson in my life. My parents were very kind to me, it's not that, but, it's like I was a very energetic little girl, apparently. So I was difficult to pen me into. So I think the kids we work with, maybe they are much more maybe distressing background as well, but they need to be given a chance, you see, which you're doing. And the most important thing for kids is just don't go into guilt mode, or feeling you're never good enough, because they pick that up straight away, Show them you have confidence in yourself and show them the confidence in themselves, give them the mirror of confidence, and happiness if you can. You speak English? No, this lady is sending me a very broad smile, very happy looking. So she might know English.
No, I will translate.
Okay, please.
आपने प्रश्न पूछा था कि बच्चों को किस तरह से माइंड ध्यान सिखाया जा सकता है, किस आयु पे सिखाना चाहिए, और कुछ आप एडवाइस दे सकती हैं। तो आचार्य ने कहा कि बच्चे जो होते हैं काफ़ी सेंसिटिव होते हैं, बहुत महसूस करते हैं। हम लोगों को एक बार पता नहीं चलता कि बच्चों को कितना इन्फ्लुएंस एनवायरनमेंट का, माता पिता के बिहेवियर का पड़ता है। और आपका अनुभव है कि बच्चे मैत्री भावना पे बहुत रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं, उन पे विश्वास करें तो ठीक लगता है, और उनको अगर इम्पोर्टेंस दी जाए कि बात सुनी जाए, समझी जाए, तो फिर वो रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं ऐसी परिस्थिति को। और प्राय बच्चे जो हैं वो अटेंशन मांगते हैं, और एक ध्यान सिखाने में या कुछ भी सिखाने में ये भूल नहीं करनी चाहिए कि उनको बड़ा समझ के, जैसे हम बड़ों को सिखाते हैं वैसे ही उनको सिखाएं। तो अपना अनुभव बता रही थी कि जैसे फैमिली कैंप होते हैं वहाँ अमरावती में, तो शुरू में अजान को ठीक नहीं लगता था, बाद में फिर उन्होंने 4 से 6 साल के बच्चों को इंटरेक्ट करना शुरू किया, और उससे काफ़ी उनको अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि बच्चों को साथ इंटरेक्ट करने में, उनके मानस को समझने में बहुत मोद जागता है। उनको क्या सिखाना चाहिए इसके बारे में उन्होंने कहा कि बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स, जैसे दान का भाव है, और किसी हार्मलेसनेस का, किसी को कष्ट न पहुंचाने का। और एक और बात आपने कही कि उनका अटेंशन स्पैन कम होता है, तो हमको उस बात का ख्याल रखना चाहिए इंस्ट्रक्शन देते समय। लेकिन जहाँ तक अच्छी आदतें हैं, वो अच्छी आदतें सिखाना ज़रूर लाभप्रद होता है। किस तरह से सिखाया जाए वो तो हमको डिसाइड करना होगा, लेकिन अच्छी आदतें सिखाएंगे तो बहुत जल्दी उनको ग्रहण कर लेते हैं। एक अच्छी आदत ये है कि उनको जो एक नेचुरल टेंडेंसी हो गई है बच्चों में भी, कि ग्रुप्स बना के अलग अलग, ये अच्छा ग्रुप है, ये बुरे बच्चे हैं, ये ऐसे हैं, ये वो ऐसे हैं, वो जो डिवाइसिवनेस है वो कम करने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए। उनको समझाना चाहिए कि हर प्राणी जो है मैत्री से आदर्श चाहता है, और वो बात समझ में आएगी तो ये टेंडेंसी रहती है ग्रुप बना के एक कॉम्पिटिटिव स्पिरिट बनाने की, एक दूसरे को अच्छा बुरा कहने की, वो कम हो जाती है। बेसिकली आप कह रही हैं कि जो मैत्री का भाव और सिखाने वाले की धैर्य की क्षमता होना बहुत आवश्यक है। और इसलिए ये भी आवश्यक है कि जो सिखा रहा है वो अपने मन को सजगता से जानता रहे, प्रतिक्षण जानता रहे, ताकि जो हमारे मन में गुजर रही है वो हम बच्चों के ऊपर ना उसका इम्पैक्ट आ जाए। उपमा दी कि बच्चों को ऐसे देखना चाहिए जैसे एक बाग में भिन्न भिन्न फूल होते हैं और जैसे माली उनका ख्याल रखता है वैसे शायद हमको भी रखना चाहिए। हाँ, ध्यान का आपने फिर पूछा सवाल सुरभि ने, तो उन्होंने कहा ध्यान सिखा सकते हैं, उनको खेल खिला सकते हैं, ध्यान सिखा सकते हैं। और फिर आपने एक उदाहरण दिया एक बच्चे का, थाई बच्चे का जैक नाम से, कितना वो बहुत एबिलियंट था, बहुत एनर्जेटिक था और किस तरह उसको उस एनर्जी का लाभ उठा के भी उसको ध्यान सिखाया गया 1-to-1 बेसिस पे। और अंतिम बात ये कही कि हमको बच्चों को अपराध बोध नहीं पैदा करना चाहिए कि तुमसे ये नहीं होता, तुम ये कम करते हो, वरन उनके प्रति उनका कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाना चाहिए ताकि उनको लगे कि हाँ कि हम ये सब कुछ कर सकते हैं। तो नेगेटिव एटीट्यूड न रख के पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड से बच्चों को सिखाना चाहिए।
What to do, so to say, to that? You know, how old are you, the kids you're talking about?
Well, they are from the age group of 5, but they go up to the age group of 26.
Oh, I see. Is that a special school, a secondary school, or?
No, it is in the slum area, and the children are from underprivileged. Their fathers are rickshaw pullers, the mothers work in houses, so
they're alone during the day.
So they go to a school during the day, and in the afternoon we have an academy for them where they learn good habits, and they play football and they study.
That's great.
And they learn, they have done anapana meditation from Goenkaji's.
Wow,
yes.
That's great.
And also yoga. So there's actually a meditator who runs this academy. He's also a Vipassana meditator.
Very good. Inspiring, isn't it? So, second question.
Ajahn, this is a question by someone who's about Maitri's age. The question is...
Your age?
One of my friends. One of
his friend. Okay. What is the right way to deal with the emotions after a breakup? Looks like it's a romantic breakup. The smile is the giveaway, or the laughter.
You're talking about a friend, not
an old friend of mine.
An old friend of you. He sent you the question, didn't he? Oh, the eternal stories, isn't it? I'm sure even in the time of the Buddha, he was asking such a question. It's an ancient question. Well, there's no secret. Nothing works. A good dose of Vipassana practice is, I would say, three drops of Vipassana practice, but 3 drops of patience and 3 drops... No, I'm just joking. Well, first of all, he must accept how he feels. Not pretend he's a good Buddhist and by doing that, hating himself or feeling anything. You know, there's a famous teacher who wrote, well, his teaching was recorded, and the title of the book is For One Who Feels. So don't give me that stance, for example, you know, that if you lost somebody, you must not cry. I have to be careful that I don't insult anybody, you know, so by saying what I think about that. It's not the case, you know, my teacher he never told me that, and if he told me that, I wouldn't believe it, because I think, you know, you don't have to cry for days on end, you know, but you need to feel what you feel. And if you don't have any mindfulness, you will be feeling it for 3 months, 3 years, 30 years. Do you understand? So when you have mindfulness, you can speed up the process of the result of your feelings, you know, because feelings is, compared to the peaceful mind that is not clinging to feelings, it's great, you know, you rather not have too many feelings because it's kind of really occupying an awful lot of space in your mind, which blinds you to other things that you need to do in life. If you feel sad or too sad, you can't do anything. You get depressed at some point. So breaking up, the Buddha talks about being separate from the loved ones is dukkha, the first noble truth. Do you know, do we need to write a book of philosophy to say that what we don't have is not getting what we have? I don't get my girlfriend, I love my girlfriend, she's not here anymore. Yeah, it's painful. So it's just experiencing the pain of life, being separated from the loved ones is painful. Nobody can disagree with the Buddha with that. I mean, it's just standard practice, standard experience, isn't it? When I'm separated from my healthy body, I notice my mind could be really perturbed by that. If my body became sick or something, which it has sometimes, and I'm glad to know the Buddha Dhamma, so that at least I don't have, body might be sick, but the mind doesn't have to be sick, I can have good health in my mind, even though the body may be unwell. But it takes a real U-turn reverse, because most of the time we're sick, the whole body, mind, body, everything gets confused. You don't know where you begin and end. And then you find that your whole system is in pain. Right? So to go back to the girl, losing so many teenagers suffer from that. I mean, not a teenager anymore, but in their 20s as well, and in their 30s, and in their 40s, and in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 90s, still people cry losing their wife or losing their girlfriend or partner, friend, boyfriend, or whatever. So, at some point, the Buddhist teaching, remember, is like a pharmacopoeia. And in a way, as you reflect again and again, or losing losing the people we love is painful. So, you've trained your mind to really think correctly, because it is true, the Buddha didn't invent pain, he's just noticing it's painful. Even losing, something like something ordinary, maybe a necklace you have and you lose it, you can be really distressed. The more gold it has on it, the more distressful is it. It's a bit of plastic, it's not too bad. Yeah? So, I would say just simply to start. Is he a practitioner, by the way?
He's done one Vipassana shiur.
Well, tell him to come and see Ajahn Sundara, in January. Talk to him, right? He's written some books on this kind of things, on the one of his books I think is on love or something. So, yeah, you've seen it, yeah. So, I'm not an idealistic type, so I just like to be just. When you feel hurt, you feel hurt. When you want to cry, you cry. But if you were not trained, then you'll be crying forever or for a long time, and you would be hurting for a long, long time. So there is a way to understand suffering. There's a way to see suffering, to let it go, and then to carry on. This is a pain of samsara. And sometimes, so many people come to me with the same story. I mean, it's on and off, through the years. And whether it's their husband, their wife, their partner, their boyfriend, girlfriends, and so on, and also, of course, the departed people, departed one. So this is a distressing situation for many, many people. When you universalize your situation, it's easier, to understand this is the nature of life, that when we lose what we love, it's painful. You can say that to your friend. And pain is the first noble truth. Start looking at what is the first noble truth. Offer him the book of the Four Noble Truths of Ajahn Sumedho. Okay? Yeah? Do that. And I can give a book of mine for him once. Yeah? Okay. I might have a chapter in that book, that thicker book.
तो प्रश्न था मैत्रेय के किसी मित्र का कि अगर किसी का ब्रेकअप हो गया अपने मित्र से तो जो इमोशन आते हैं उसको कैसे डील किया जाए। तो आचार्य ने जवाब दिया कि ये अनंत काल से प्रश्न चला आ रहा है और शायद चलेगा। तो आपने कहा कि लाइटली कि विपश्यना का अगर एक डोज देंगे तो शायद कुछ हो सकता है, लाभ हो जाए। फिर आपने कहा कि बेसिकली हमको एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए कि जैसा हमें महसूस हो रहा है, जैसे हमारी फीलिंग आ रही है, वी शुड एक्सेप्ट इट। और उसके लिए अब बुरा नहीं मानना चाहिए कि मैं क्यों परेशान हो रहा हूँ, मैं क्यों दुखी हो रहा हूँ। कि जैसा महसूस हो रहा है वो हो रहा है, उसको जानना चाहिए और सजगता से सती के साथ उसको हैंडल करना चाहिए। क्योंकि अगर हम ठीक से हैंडल नहीं करते तो इस तरह के दुख जो है बहुत सारा हमारा मेंटल स्पेस ऑक्यूपाई करते हैं, फिर हम धीरे धीरे डिप्रेशन की ओर जा सकते हैं। एक किसी भी ब्रेकअप को हम उसी हिसाब से दे सकते हैं, प्रथम आर्य सत्य की तरह से बात आती है कि जो प्रिय है उससे वियोग दुख है, तो ब्रेकअप भी बिल्कुल वैसे ही समझना चाहिए। सामान्यतः प्रिय किस एक व्यक्ति हो सकता है, एक वस्तु हो सकती है, किसी को कोई नेकलेस प्रिय हो सकता है, कोई परिस्थिति हो सकती है, शरीर हो सकता है, अपना ही शरीर हो सकता है। तो जब शरीर बीमार हो जाता है तो कितना कष्ट होता है। और मित्र का खोना किसी भी सेंस में वो कष्टदायक हुआ है, तो उसको एक्सेप्ट करना सीखना होता है। तो आपने कहा कि अजान जय सर हमने इस पे एक पुस्तक लिखी है, तो जनवरी में आ रहे हैं 2 हफ्ते बाद, तो उनसे कहो कि उनसे मिल लें। और अगर वो इसको इस अप्रिय परिस्थिति से होने वाले दुख को देख सकें, समझ सकें, तो उससे काफी छुटकारा निजात मिलेगा। तो उसके लिए आपने सुझाव दिया कि अजान सुमेधो की जो किताब है 4 नोबल ट्रूथ, उसको पढ़ें तो उससे लाभ होगा।
This question is by Surbhi's friend. The state of mind at the time of death is very important. What can we do to have a good state of mind? Also, does it help to do Marunanusati and Ashubh Bhavana?
And what was the second one?
Ashubh Bhavana.
Ashubha Bhavana.
With what frequency can we do that? I mean, in what intervals?
In walking too?
In what intervals should one do Marunanusati and Ashubh Bhavana? How frequently or after how much time duration?
We should do Ashubha Bhavana.
Yes.
Is it a man or women?
Woman.
Okay. So, the first one was on, the first second on Ashubha Bhavana, and the first one?
State of mind at the time of death.
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah. So, ideally, people will say it must be peaceful, conscious, mindful, aware, I think it's better to prepare oneself in daily life, to have that kind of refuge, mindful, because by the time of death, you might not have exactly the consciousness that you imagine you should have. Do you understand? So, one of the most important things to prepare oneself for death by having this, you're dying every day, you're dying every moment, you die, there's a ending every day, every moment, every second. So to get used to practice with death in daily life, with what I mean by this just ending of things that won't come back. Because I've seen many people, either dying or they're quite rare. I mean, the one I've seen is some people can really kind of stay connected with the consciousness, that is beyond the hindrances or the attachment to dukkha, But not everybody. They can be radiant and quite bright, even with the pain or the painkillers. This remains fairly clear and bright. I think it's important that we're not frightened by the way it appears at death, because we don't know exactly what goes on. We think the mind is what we see, but we don't see everything, right? So ideally, yeah, to be in a peaceful mode, to be tranquil, and more than anything is to prepare oneself for death by acting in a way that will not leave us with mountains of remorse and regret. Right? That's one of the things that people maybe forget. One of the reasons why the Buddha gave us, this ethical standard is so that we would not be riddled with remorse and regret all the time. So you can do only what you can do. You can't expect the whole world to appreciate that you are an ethical person, but you can be kind. You can be. You do what you can do at the time you can do it. You can't do it all the time. But generally, if you remind yourself to be kind, it's interesting. The energy of kindness is very different from just being confident and caring. You can be confident and kind. Patience, confident and kind. Firm, confident and kind. Clear, confident, kind and firm. But you don't have to have anger, and impatient all the time and treating people like rubbish. I don't know. Maybe in India you don't do that. Got the feeling it's universal, is it? So it's really hard work. I'm training myself till I die, and all these kind of things. To remember, how, because we're not free yet from all these kilesa, so they can, agitate the heart easily without even us knowing it. So the training is a remembering the goodness of our life, the goodness of the heart, the goodness of the mind, that which is good, skillful, beautiful, but if we cling to them, then we get distressed all the time because our habits are not like that necessarily. Habits, conditioning is anger, frustration, jealousy, envy, resentment, impatience, diffident, arrogant, conceited, the whole lot. That's why we need training, because these kilesa don't need to be, go back into their prison and then infest your system such a way that you get sick. They are in prison, and you need to learn how to let them go. And to let them go, that's an expression that Ajahn Sumedho used to use a lot, let the prisoners go. So when you feel that your mind is going, I did this, I did that, it's all blah, 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 listen to it like prisoner going out of the prison. It's such a different way of looking at it, It's not so easy, because you have to have a certain amount of detachment from your thinking when that happened, Otherwise you keep thinking it's mine, 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 mine. Just thought coming out of remorse and regret, can be a whole sort of story going with them. And it's not easy to listen, so to be able to listen to all these prisoners going out for a few weeks. I've seen that. I used to be with my dad, for example, in the south of France when he was not well, and I think he was recovering from. Can't remember, some kind of heart problem. And I remember being quite sad, to see my dad was being so kind of alive and energetic and very bright mind and very interesting person as well, and so on. I'm very fond of my dad. And then to suddenly see him, with his senses fading and his mind slowing down and his inability walk properly. When I knew he used to walk with a dog, he loved it, in the countryside and so on. I was kind of filled with sadness. And I was okay. Just noticed sadness, for about a month. And then I remember going to the Swiss Vihara of the Ajahn Chah tradition to do a retreat for about 3 weeks, on retreat by myself. And I didn't do anything sort of flamboyant, day one, get ready for the first jhana, for this and that, for illuminating insight day after day, No, I just live my days simply, meditating quietly, and I didn't think I'm used to the mind that says, you're not going anywhere. I say, yes, I hear you, It doesn't mean anything to me anymore. So, but when I went back, all the sadness had gone. I still love my dad as much as I did, even more than before, because more unconditioned love seemed to be going through. But I didn't have the sadness kind of, infecting the atmosphere. I mean, infecting is a strong word, but kind of sort of occupying the atmosphere. It was so nice just to see that. Doing nothing. It's just for 3 weeks you just don't cling to anything, You get up and you spend the day not clinging. You don't have to cling. The food is given to you, offered, so it's conditions which allow you a time for seeing grasping and non-grasping. And you see grasping and you can let go because there's nowhere to go anyway. In that particular situation where I was, there was not many things you could do for walks and so on, but you couldn't. You could see you grasping quickly and then letting go because there was no object, to grasp in the end. But this sadness completely disappeared. Yeah? So you can tell that to your friend. Okay, we can carry on. Oh, Mr. Da. No.
प्रश्न था कि मृत्यु के समय पे स्टेट ऑफ माइंड कैसा होना चाहिए, तो आपने कहा कि आइडियली तो यही है कि हम कहते हैं कि पीसफुल हो और हम उस समय कॉन्शियस हो, अवेयर हो, लेकिन उसके लिए तैयारी तो सारा जीवन भर कर सकते हैं. उस समय पे एक्सपेक्ट करना सडनली कुछ हो जाएगा और ये समझना कि हम जीवन में भी प्रतिक्षण बदलते रहता है, प्रतिक्षण मृत्यु होती है, दोबारा जीवन होता है. तो हमारे दैनिक जीवन में भी हम इस तरह की जो प्रतिक्षण मृत्यु प्रतिक्षण जन्म वाली बात है उसको समझेंगे तो तैयारी होती है उससे. कुछ लोग होते हैं ऐसे जो कि अंत तक चित्त स्पष्ट रहता है, कॉन्शियस रहता है, लेकिन मुख्य बात यही है कि इस बात को सोच के कि मृत्यु के समय क्या होगा डरने की जरूरत नहीं है. और इसीलिए भगवान ने हमको शील का पालन करने को कहा ताकि अंत काल में ऐसे काल में हमको कोई रिमोर्स ना हो, कोई पश्चाताप ना हो पुराने कर्मों पर. तो वो एक तरह से इंश्योर करता है कि हमारी मन की स्थिति खराब नहीं होगी. मैं एक सूत्र मुख्य ही उन्होंने बताया कि जो भी अच्छाई हम कर सकते हैं वो हमको तब करनी चाहिए जब हम कर सकते हो, क्योंकि बुढ़ापे में जैसे जैसे इंद्रियां क्षीण होती जाती हैं, काफी काम करने मुश्किल हो जाते हैं. तो सारा जीवन अगर हम जिस तरह से जी रहे हैं, अच्छा जीवन जी रहे हैं, कुशल चित्त पैदा कर रहे हैं, तो अंत तक भी लाभ देगा. हमको पेशेंस की आवश्यकता है, कॉन्फिडेंस की आवश्यकता है, करुणा की आवश्यकता है. सारी चीजें उस परिस्थिति को हैंडल करने के लिए हेल्पफुल होती हैं. तो आपने ये भी बताया कि हमको जो सामान्य जीवन में जो आते हैं गुस्सा करने की, जेलसी की, ग्रीड की, एरोगेंस की, वो सब एक तरह से मेंटल कंटेंट्स हैं. और अगर हम ट्रेनिंग करें कि उनको देखें कि ये हम कुछ क्रिमिनल्स हैं जो हमारे मन में बंद हैं और उठे हुए हैं, तो उठे हैं तो उनको जाने दिया जाए. तो जैसे वो कहती हैं लेट द प्रिजनर्स गो, तो उस हिसाब से मन को समझाएंगे तो उनको जाने देंगे. उन विचारों को जो भी संस्कार उठते हैं तो काफी मन शांत हो जाता है और वही आदत फिर अंतकाल भी सहायक होती है. आपने अपना दृष्टांत देते हुए बताया कि जब इनके पिताजी बीमार नहीं थे, अब बहुत बीमार हो गए थे, ठीक नहीं थे, तो ये गई थी, तो उनको देख के काफी कष्ट होता था क्योंकि वो पहले बहुत एनर्जेटिक थे, अब उनकी इंद्रियां भी क्षीण हो रही थी. तो उन्होंने बताया कि उसके बाद हमने 3 हफ्ते की साइलेंट रिट्रीट की अपने आप वहाँ स्विट्जरलैंड के बिहार में, और वापस गई वहां से रिट्रीट के बाद तो देखा कि जो उनका उदासी थी वो सब चली गई थी. वो फिर अपने पिताजी की सेवा कर पाए लेकिन उदासी नहीं थी. तो ये एक टिप दिया जा सकता है कि हम अपने मन को कैसे संभाल के रखें। मुख्य बात ये है कि किसी भी चीज को क्लिंग नहीं करनी चाहिए। तो अंत में ये कहा कि आप सुरभि से क्या अपने मित्र को ये बता सकते हैं। There are the two parts of it, no? How frequently to do Marananusati and Asubha Bhavana.
Okay.
These two parts of the question were there. Yeah. How frequently should we do Marananusati and Asubha Bhavana?
That's right, yes. So, Marananusati, don't do that kind of thing much in my life as a nun, but of course you could say if you think about Marananusati not necessarily in a kind of traditional way. For example, we have people at the monastery, we have a room called the Chapel of Rest. It's right next behind the Buddha, the shrine room, the main shrine room. It's separate. And some of our friends over the years have asked when they pass away, they would like to rest in a chapel of rest for 2 or 3 days. So quite a few have come, and they would prepare a place. Their coffin comes with them, and sometimes it's open, sometimes it's closed. So when it's open, we have a chance to reflect on death, reflect on what the person looked like after the life has gone from the body. And people sit quietly in meditation around the coffin. We do some chanting sometimes. So in that sense, we do Marana, meditation, kind of contemplation. Yeah. We have this opportunity, and the monks, I remember coming from Thailand, were very interested in that. And so we had several friends who came, before we had a chapel of rest, they came and sometimes they asked if they could die at the monastery. So if they were very, very close to the monks, for example, if it was a man, to women, if we had, let's say to the monks, if it was a friend of theirs, a man, they would come and be spent a month or so before they died, and then they would die at the monastery, and then their family would take care of the funeral and so on. We had Thai women who came to die at the monastery. She had been diagnosed with cancer when Amaravati didn't exist yet, and so we were at Chithurst. She had breast cancer. And she came we allowed her to spend 6 months with us at the nuns' cottage. And after 6 months, she was okay. She went to Thailand to pay respect to all the great teachers of the forest tradition that she'd heard of or knew. And she came back. She was fine. For 3 years, she worked as a volunteer in the hospital where she'd been treated. And after 3 years, she discovered that she had liver cancer. So she's seen so many people dying of liver cancer herself, or cancer of all kind. She was in a cancer ward, so helping as a volunteer, I think, in the cancer ward. And so when she heard the diagnosis, she decided to come and die at the monastery. I don't know if she had any treatment by then, for the liver cancer. And it was an extraordinary time, really, because till the last day she was still offering dana to the community. We would help her to come to the sala, and then she would just be crawling on her knees and lay hands, to offer something to Ajahn Sumedho. It was very inspiring, and she was in white because we made her a kind of honorary anagārikā. She was in white already when she came to Chithurst the first time, I think. I can't remember really whether we offered her to wear white and to shave her head, even though she was not part of the normal process, And so that was extraordinary to see her dying. We were there through the night when she passed away, and it was quite an extraordinary time when we were around her and we chanted together, and And I still remember how when she was, not long before she died, she kind of sat up straight away and she had a bag of sweets and she said, please share this is my life sensory pleasure to give sweets, in this world. Then she went back down and then eventually she went back up and I was sitting, we took turns sitting on her bed. There were some monks in her room, some nuns and so on. And it was quite sweet because when it came my turn, she sat up straight away and then she put my arms around myself and then she went back down and she died. I didn't take it personally. Yeah, she was ready. She was as ready as one can be, really. She was still very bright, right to the last minute, Amazing. I've seen people like that. It's quite extraordinary, We had a monk, for example, ex-monk, who had left the Sangha a long time ago, and had been a monk with Luang Por Chah, one of the few monks who came. And it was really lovely just to see him before he died, He was he couldn't speak already, and he kind of, but you can see he had lots of pain and so on. But he was not hiding, a face in pain or a body in pain, but he was very peaceful. It's like he was moving around and very quiet. You could feel he has a mindfulness kind of there, present with everything that was going on. It's quite inspiring. So we do Marana in that way. We have a corpse. There is also a skeleton in that chapel of rest, which is traditionally in Thailand something that is contemplated, corpses. And there was a great interest in the early years also to see autopsies and things like that. Some nuns as well went to see autopsies. I had a chance to go to the. I think it's a police hospital in Bangkok, on a Monday after the weekend, which is like the worst day of the week, because they all got drunk probably and kill each other. And there were like 20 people, dead in the room. And some of them with big bloated belly and others, I still remember 3 little Thai men in one of those dish, like you put the one you put in the oven, to make your little aluminium dish, a tiny little body, 3 of them with a cut throat. Yeah. But it's not so much looking at these things that's so impressive, it's how you can reflect afterwards, because some people just feel nothing. They work there every day. They don't reflect, just like doctors. They look at bodies, they look at this, but they don't reflect much on the nature of phenomena of the body, of the illnesses. Some of them are more and more in America. Many doctors will meditate. Maybe people I know are a medical doctor, and they will meditate and work in hospital, but also be very conscious people. So I think, is there anything else, Sister Kituyani, we do for Marana Sati?
Just internally.
Just
bringing the perception internally.
Yeah. Do you want to speak a little bit about that? She can say a lot, I can tell you. Tomorrow. So, what I was going to say is also on oneself. You can look at your skeleton, you can use as your bones, you can... Ajahn Amaravati did a very good... I wasn't there on the retreat, but were you on the retreat when he did the death?
Death and dying retreat, yeah.
Yeah, the death meditation. Why don't you say something? I'm pushing her a little bit. I'm going to have... I don't want to really fall out afterwards, we live together, so old nuns, have to be careful, not just with Sister Kituyani, but anybody. Anyway, he did a meditation on death, so he had people lying down, and do you mind if I ask you some questions? If I'm missing something, she can help me, she can support me. No, because I wasn't there, but people, he kind of guided this meditation on death, and some people had a very powerful experience. When he comes in May next year, you can ask him, about this death meditation. For some people, there was extremely, a real awakening, to imagine you're dying there, So, it's always good, to bring a sense of detachment for these things. It's always helpful to look at these things with a detached mind. With a mindfulness is like not clinging. You don't cling. You can be mindful of your clinging mind, but when you're mindful, straight away the whole thing starts flowing. And by the fact it starts flowing, it's like the conditioned, attached world to you start, dispersing. It doesn't have a hold anymore once you've seen something. Like if I told you, maybe when you were little you had a little doggy, or you had a favorite doll for the women, I don't know what the boys meant, but your favorite doll has been stolen by somebody. Well, you wouldn't mind that much, would you? Wouldn't big deal. Oh, somebody just said it would be a big deal. No, but now at your age, that's what I mean, not at 3 years old. 3 years old, you have a tantrum. It would be really, being separated from the loved ones. See? That's what the Buddha is talking about. Not separated when you are 34 or 40 from a little doll. That wouldn't really, that's what I mean. It wouldn't bother you, would it? Okay? So what you do little by little as you grow older with your body, as you kind of see the nature of the body, you also create a sense, what manifests is a sense of detachment. Yeah? And this sense of detachment, interestingly enough, produces or sort of creates a sense of a sense of wanting to care really well to this body, for example. You're not just careless anymore. When you see the limitation of the body, when you see what disease you create by feeding it with the wrong thing, the mind, when you feed the mind with wrong thought or thought that keep destroying the sense of confidence, that keep destroying the sense of well-being, or your sense of value, the sense that you value, that you're somebody of value, somebody that's worthy, especially for women. I know this is very strong, so strong. You don't have to have a man to tell you you're wonderful. You can start looking at being wonderful without a guy, quote unquote, without somebody, You don't have to depend on somebody else to feel a wonderful woman. You're waking up to that? Yeah? Right. Bad time, isn't it? So many times we don't feel good. Why? Mind you, if you're French, I'm sure the French are the same, but they're a bit arrogant, the French. To be careful what I say. We're very, quite strong women as well. So that's enough for the Mara?
Second was Asubha Bhavana.
Asubha, that's it, that's enough.
Okay.
Asubha practice, means Asubha means the beautiful, okay? Asubha means non-beautiful. So when you look at a corpse, that's what we call Asubha, a dying person, Ideally, if you really want to do serious on that, then you leave the corpse, rotting for a few days, few weeks, and then you start getting the sense of smell, the sense of the eyes, the seeing and so on. But that's kind of one of the Asubha practices, to look at the dead body, or to look at the, at a corpse, or to look at the non-beautiful part of the body. For example, we have like the 32 parts of the body. What is it? We don't chant it so much at this time, but we used to chant it regularly. Now we're all a bit older, you see, it's not such a big problem. But when everybody was young, you need to be reminded, what's under the skin, so you don't get too deluded and attracted to each other, So that's now it's not not so difficult, So the Asubha, I mean, having said that, I don't know what the monks do, because there are plenty of young monks, around, so they probably have to do that a bit. Now, where the Asubha, oh, here we are. I've got it on 46, and in your book, I'm not sure where it would be. Reflection on the 32 parts is called. Have you got it?
No, do elaborate in Hindi. Yeah, it's.
Have you got it? Yeah, there you go. So you have it in Hindi. So I won't go into say in Pali, and you can look at it in Hindi. We don't need to do the whole chant, but this is which is my body. So this is a reflection on the Asubha aspect of the body. Of course, in the West, people will question. They say, well, I don't know, my nails are fine, my skin is okay. Why do I have to look at it as ugly? My kidney, the heart, liver, so in the West, we tend to see things, we have access to things, organs, through images, through. At some point, people even can write poems, on liver. That's not Asubha particularly. It's not an Asubha poems. It might be quite inspiring about the organs inside the body. Yeah, a bit funny, Here too? No. So we have this which is my body, from the sole of the feet up and down from the crown of the head, is sealed with a bag of skin. So in Pali is Ayanko me kayo udam padatala ado ke samataka tapchaparayanto puro napa karasa asuchino. Okay. Do you know enough Pali to know which one is Asubha part? I'm not beautiful, I can't remember the Pali. Which one is it?
Asuchino.
Asuchino, I should ask you. Asuchino. So, not beautiful. Suchino is beautiful, is that it?
Good, yeah.
Yeah? So, Asuchino, not beautiful. So, what it means, it's when we look at somebody, Ajahn Chah used to say to his monk, when you see a woman, as soon as you look at them, you've seen everything that's underneath. He was very frank, He talks about his own experience, you understand? He was not talking about his neighbor's experience. Ajahn Chah talked a lot about working with sexual energy. That's why he had so many monks interested to study with him, because he didn't have any problem addressing this difficult aspect of our life, So he used to say that to the monks, And they took it obviously well from him. So these parts of when you recite this and you remember this and you reflect on them, you realize that a beautiful person, a man or women, you maybe immediately the eyes are attracted, the sense contact is attracted, you want to touch, to look, to see, to remember, and so on, This is one side of the story. So Buddha brings the other side. Underneath all that, you have, in this body there are hair of the head, like Ajahn Sumedho used to make us laugh so much, it's like you can look at the beautiful women or handsome man with beautiful hair and so on, and then you find one of their hair in your soup. And you say, what is the reaction at that moment? Is it Subha or Asubha? Suchino or Suchino, So, hair of the body, nail, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, membrane, spleen, lungs, bowels, entrails, undigested food, excrement, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, grease, spittle, mucus, all of the joint, urine and brain. This then, which is my body, from the sole of the feet up and down from the crown of the head, is a sealed bag of skin filled with unattractive things. So it's like a medicine for the tendency to be pulled in, the beautiful, which is that which is attractive. So it's like a wisdom teaching, it's like how many of you over the years, over decades, have been pulled into that thing. That's why people for the first 3 weeks, a wedding, marriage works well, and then unfortunately the asuchino aspect start popping the head up. You didn't see them, you were completely blinded before. Then you start looking at these asuchino, and then you blame the other person for not being as attractive or beautiful. You blame yourself for blaming the other person, so it's a whole chain of misery. So, but if we had this, and when we marry somebody, we know also they have teeth, skin, entrails, undigested food, excrement. They should write pimple as well, I think, for the skin, pimples and warts. That's what my teacher used to say, when we meet somebody, we fall in love, we just see all the beautiful things. There's nothing wrong with that person, And then after a few days or a few weeks or a few months, or if you're a bit slow, maybe a few years, you start seeing all the warts and all the nasty bits, So it's a shame, isn't it, that we get so miserably disappointed. So we do Asubha practice in that sense. Yeah? Well?
Let's just quickly translate it and stop. प्रश्न था कि दूसरा पार्ट जो था मरणानुस्मृति अशुभ भावना के बारे में, तो आपने बताया कि मरणानुस्मृति डायरेक्टली उस तरह से नहीं करते, लेकिन वहाँ अमरावती में एक अलग से कमरा है, जैसे चैपल ऑफ द रेस्ट कहा जाता है। वहाँ पे कोई अगर चाहे तो अपने, कई लोग वहाँ पे चाहते हैं कि मृत्यु के बाद हमारा कॉफिन वहाँ रखा जाए, ताकि लोग वहाँ पे जाते हैं और देखते हैं मृत शरीर को, तो वो वहाँ मरणानुस्मृति का अभ्यास करते हैं, देखते हैं किस तरह से शरीर डिजेनरेट हो जाता है। कई बार बता रही थी कि कई लोग वहाँ पे ये अंतिम इच्छा करते हैं कि हम अंतिम समय अपना मोनास्ट्री में बिताएं। तो उन्होंने एक थाई वुमेन के बारे में बताया जो वहाँ पहले 6 महीने रही और फिर वो ठीक हो गई, फिर थाईलैंड गई, फिर वापस आई, तो फिर दोबारा उसको लिवर कैंसर हो गया और वो मरने समय तक वहाँ पे रही और लास्ट आखिरी दिन तक वो दान देती रही, और भिक्षु और भिक्षुनियाँ वहाँ पे उनके साथ अटेंड करते रहे जब तक कि उनके प्राण न चले गए। इसी तरह कोई पहले के आजान चा के पुराने शिष्य थे, कोई जो पुराने पहले मॉन्क थे, अब मॉन्क नहीं थे, वो भी मोनास्ट्री में आए। हालांकि उनके काफी कष्ट था, पेन था, फिर भी वो पेन को बड़े शांत तरीके से समता से देखते रहे। तो एक बहुत प्रेरणादायक उनका मृत्यु रही। और बताया कि उन्होंने वहाँ पे भी एक स्केलेटन रखा हुआ है चैपल ऑफ रेस्ट में, जैसा हम लोगों ने वाट बनाना चाहत में देखा था, और उससे भी लोग उसको देख के भी मरणानुस्मृति करते हैं। और कई बार ऑटोप्सीज देखने जाते हैं, तो आप बताया कि आपने बैंकॉक में एक हॉस्पिटल में एक बार देखी थी ऑटोप्सी देखने। वहाँ देखने का मतलब ये नहीं कि देख के कुछ हो जाएगा, हम उस जो भी दृश्य आ रहा है सामने उस पर रिफ्लेक्ट करते हैं, तो तब जाके उसका लाभ होता है, शरीर के प्रति जो आकर्षण है कम हो जाता है। तो आपने कहा कि हम अपने आप पे भी, अपने स्केलेटन पे भी ध्यान कर सकते हैं। और उन्होंने बताया कि अजान अमरो ने एक रिट्रीट की थी जिसमें मेडिटेशन ऑन डेथ कहा था, और कहा कि जब वो मई में आए तो आप लोग उनसे कहिएगा, यदि आपको चाहते हो तो आपको बताएंगे। उन्होंने उदाहरण के लिए बताया कि जो प्रिय से वियोग है वो किस तरह से हम मैच्योरिटी से बदल जाता है। एक 3 साल की बच्ची को अगर गुड़िया चुरा लें तो उसके लिए बहुत विछोह का महसूस होता है, लेकिन जब बड़ी हो जाते हैं 30-35 साल के, तो फिर वो नहीं महसूस होता उस गुड़िया के प्रति, क्योंकि एक सेंस ऑफ डिटैचमेंट आ जाती है। तो इसी तरह से हमको समझना चाहिए कि अगर हम स्पिरिचुअली ग्रो कर रहे हैं तो हमको अपने शरीर से भी सेंस ऑफ डिटैचमेंट आनी चाहिए। अशुभ प्रैक्टिस के बारे में बताया कि वो असुंदर चीजों को देखना, कि सामान्यतः हम शरीर को देखते हैं, पुरुष महिला के शरीर को देखता है, महिला पुरुष के शरीर को देखती है तो उसको सुंदर लगता है, ये एक नेचुरल प्रोसेस है। लेकिन वो एक इज वन साइड ऑफ द स्टोरी। लेकिन अगर हम उसको गहराई से देखें तो जैसे उन्होंने 32 पार्ट्स का विवरण किया और हमने सुना उनसे, तो पता चलता है कि उसके जो बाहर से दिख रहा है वो कुछ है और उसका भीतर कुछ और है। तो इस तरह से जब इस तरह का चिंतन बार बार करते हैं तो शरीर की बाह्य सुंदरता के प्रति जो आकर्षण है वो कम हो जाता है। फिर उन्होंने बताया किस तरह से शादी के बाद, शादी के समय क्योंकि इन्फैचुएटेड रहता है तो आदमी देख नहीं पाता ये सब बात में, और कुछ ही समय बाद वो असिचनो जो असुंदर एस्पेक्ट हैं, वो अशुभ एस्पेक्ट हैं शरीर के, वो सामने आने लगते हैं।
It's now 2:25, right? We can do walking meditation. And yes.
John, a few people would like to make some offerings.
Yes, you can do that now. We just kind of flow with the flow of time. So,
These are small bags.
that's right.
Bags, carry bags. So you can put the things in it small.
Your sister, yes. Very kind. Actually, I realized maybe we could keep that. Yeah. Wooden. Yeah. Wooden. We're going to do some chanting. Okay, it's all right. Did you want? Yeah, you can come. Maybe you can move it sideways. Yeah, a bit more. So, we'll do some chanting. We'll just do a blessing for all of you. Maybe if you move, you move on that side so Mr. Da is not completely hidden behind everybody. Okay. Sambharo Gavinimuto Sabha Santa Bhavachito Sabhaveramati Kanto Nibuto Chatawa Bhavasabitiyo Vivajantu Sabhalogo Vinasatu Mate Bhavan Vantarayo Sikhi Gayu Go Bhava Biva Tanasili Sanitra Rudham Pachayino Jattalo Dhamma Vadanti Ayuvano Sukham Balam Metancha Sabalokasamin Manasam Bhavaye Aparimana Udam Adocha Tiriyancha Sambadam Avera Asapatam Titam Charani Sindova Sayanova Yavadasa Vigatamido Etam Ting aditeya brahmameta viharam hidamma huditing jahanupagama silawa dasanena sampano kamme suvinaya gedo nahijadukha baseyam punaretiti bhavantu sabha mangalam rakantu sabha devada samba buddha nubhavena sadasoti bhavantu te bhavantu sabha mangala rakantu sabha devada samba dhamma nubhavena sadasoti bhavantu te bhavantu sabha mangala rakantu sabha devada samba sangha nubhavena sadasoti bhavantu te. So, thank you. And now, I think we have to rearrange the calendar here. The agenda is 2:30. We have 2:30 to 3:15. We can have, I would say I have a break. I would have a break now from until 2:45. Yeah. 2:45 to 3:30, I would have meditation sitting. Okay. And let me see. And normally 4 to 5, 3:30. You just have a time when you meditate as you wish, walking or sitting a bit longer or walking a bit longer, whatever. For Sister Kitinyani to answer questions, if you feel up to. Hey?
Tomorrow.
I can't hear you, sorry.
It's tomorrow.
I know, but I was thought I forwarded it a little bit today. No, what time is it tomorrow?
1:15.
1:15. Are you happy to keep it like that?
Or we can have a discussion.
Okay. Okay. Well, we need to know now. So, okay. So 1:15 tomorrow. We'll keep it like that. You know, for 1:15, Sister Kitinyani will have a time to answer any questions. Yeah, and I won't be there because we tend to be, I mean, sometimes people stay, sometimes people don't stay. You know, when Ajahn, one of the nuns, give a talk while she's on retreat with him, he leaves, he goes away, I think.
Ajahn always goes.
Yeah. So Ajahn Sumedho, you just want to stand with him, you know. No matter, you know, he'll forgive you for whatever you say. I'm not saying anything in regard to Sister Kitinyani, but it's my experience, you know. So you might not want to do it in front of everybody, but with Lumpo Sumedho, it's like, oh yeah, whatever you say will be okay, as long as it's not completely wrong view, of course, you know.